All right, let's talk about Marriagetoxin episode 1 and episode 2. If you want to see my reaction to both episodes, you can check out the hour-long video in the Patreon down below. So with that said, episode 1 episode 2 was really good, honestly, especially episode 2. But with episode 1, we got to meet Hikaru Jiro, the Poison Master, and we learned about modified bloodlines, which are basically these bloodlines that are almost, at least from what I could tell, they're almost superhuman in some way. And they're like incredibly powerful, incredibly like influential as well in like the underworld and all that. And along the way, we also meet Mei Kinosaki, who we later learn is a dude, which fair enough, valid, completely based. And then we also get to see what's his name again? Hikaru. Jiro? Hikaru. We get to see Hikaru decide to save Mei instead of killing him. Her? Him. Him. Technically. Yeah, him. Instead of killing him. Because he wants to get married. Because I believe it's his sister, Akari? Maybe? I think that's her name. It might not be her name, honestly. Because there were a lot of names we learned. Quite a few names we learned last episode. In episode 1, too. Well, anyways, we learned a lot of names. But he wants to get married so that he can pass on children to continue the bloodline. Because if he doesn't, his sister, I believe his sister, she's going to have to go back to the main clan, main house, and be like, yo, I don't want to do this, but I have to. And she has to break up with her girlfriend as well, which that would suck. And so luckily, Hikaru, I keep almost saying Jiro, I'm just gonna say Jiro probably. He's like, yo, I'll get married so that you can continue being happy, basically. And so Mei, who was a marriage swindler, I almost said he is very good at what he does. He's a con man who swindles people into marriage. He goes after men and women and is able to utilize his looks for both. And he basically becomes a matchmaker for Hikaru. And Hikaru was like, yo, I gotta kill a lot of people first to save you. And so he does that. And he injects himself with some kind of, at the time, I didn't know what it was. But he basically just made himself super powerful and very cool. It was very cool to see him do that. And so that happens. He wins, of course, because he's the main character and he's the poison master. And honestly, I don't know why they thought they could just like kill him with guns. Like, he's the poison master. He's a master. You can't just kill a master with a puny gun like that. They're just like, they're NPCs. They thought they could kill him, but they couldn't. And so we also learned that Mei apparently has a brother who's ill, and he's making money to take care of him. And Hikaru is also like, yo, I might be able to help him because I'm a poison master, and the opposite of poison would be medicine, kind of, essentially. They go hand in hand in a way. So he's actually would be the perfect person to help with that. So that's episode 1 in a nutshell. Episode 2, though, is really good because we get to see, at least, okay, so it's either episode 2 that happens or episode 1, because I watched both back to back, so I might get a little bit mixed up with what happens in some of them. But episode 1 and episode 1 and episode 2, Mei gets kidnapped by the brother of the last guy that had the gun, and he's like, yo, what happened to my brother? He died. He loses, of course. I actually don't know if he dies, but he loses because Hikaru saves him. But then we spend either episode, I think part of episode 2 we spent on trying to, it might have been episode 1, honestly, a lot happened. But basically, we spent some time getting Hikaru to meet different women through matchmaking services and through going on dating apps, and he met nearly 30 women in a day, and not a single contact information, man. The guy has bad luck, but he also struggles with like talking to people. We also learn at some point that he doesn't have that he never went to school, not even daycare. Like, from the moment he could form memories, he was like, yo, I have to do this. And so he's doing it. And it kind of sucks, honestly, if you think about it. But then episode 2 is focused on Operation White Knight, which is basically he has to save a woman, make her swoon for him, and he struggles at first, kind of struggles still actually, because like they're going to an art gallery, May's idea, and apparently it's he's not great with art either. I'm not either, to be fair. I actually did ask a question: how the fuck is art valued like that? Because like one art piece was like 2 billion yen. How the fuck does something get valued that high? How do they determine what's the value of artwork like that? Anyways, that's not important. What is important is that someone named Himakawa steals a painting from the cruise ship that's the art gallery, and unfortunately gets captured in return by the water master. And then the ship captain is like, yo, if you don't give me what I want, I'm gonna kill Himakawa. And so fighting ensues essentially between Hikaru, who's there to save Himakawa, because Operation White Knight involves taking on bodyguarding jobs and rescuing hostages and stuff through something called the Dark Nav, which he's old-fashioned, because those families are old-fashioned, so they go through brokers, but the modern way appears to be through this app, or through a app. And so that happens, and it's actually a pretty cool system, like having an app to like get jobs and stuff. And so he's took the job to rescue Himakawa in an effort to swoon her, and a fight ensues, and it's really cool. And we also learn that the thing that he injected himself with was a poison, a very lethal dose of a poison, because it strengthens him when he's strong and makes him stronger, which is really cool. Kind of fucked up if you think about it for too long, but really cool nonetheless. And so that happens, and he fights Ushio, the water master, and Ushio's like, yo, I'll pay you 10 times what you're being paid, but doesn't work, and that happens. I don't have much to say, honestly, because it was just a really good episode. I put a lot of my thoughts in the reaction itself, so I don't want to rehash literally everything that I talked about. You can check it out on the Patreon down below. And I just wanted to come on here and talk about the 2 episodes that I watched today. I was going to do it this last week, but I got distracted, honestly. So here I am catching up with episode 1, episode 2. And I am curious what your thoughts are in the comments down below. Did you like both episodes? I think this might actually be anime of the season, honestly. I honestly would say Marriagetoxin might be anime of the season for me so far. But of course, time will tell. Time might change as we go on. It might get worse. I don't think it's going to get worse. It looked really good, though. I will say that. And, yeah, I don't much else to say. I just wanted to come on here and yap for a little while. So, yeah. With that said, thank you all so much for watching. If you like this video, hit that like button, subscribe, and ding that notification bell. Patreon down below, as is the Discord and the Twitter and my Annie list and all that jazz in the description down below. What else do I have to say? Expect reviews like these for a while, because I'm working on some stuff in the background that will probably take me a few more weeks, maybe even a month or two. So get used to these review videos. I think they work out pretty well. And for those of you who are fans of my Twisted Wonderland reactions, I will be trying to do a reaction to a song later on, either today, maybe later, or tomorrow. I'm not sure, but I will be trying to do that. So stick around for that. But yeah, I don't have much else to say. So until next time, my name is Mark. Never stop being yourself. Stay safe out there, and I will see all you incredible people in the next video.